Hello, my name is Robert Edwards, and today I'll be discussing the two types of light water reactors, boiling water reactors and pressurized water reactors. Here's a quick outline. First we'll look at the definition of light water reactors, then we'll look at the two types, boiling water reactors and pressurized water reactors, the advantages and disadvantages of both, conclusion, and references. A light water reactor is a type of neutron reactor that uses normal water rather than heavy water as the neutron moderator and coolant. Normal water is your typical H2O, while heavy water is a form of water that has a larger than normal amount of hydrogen isotope. Light water reactors require fuel that has been enriched, while heavy water reactors do not. Again, as discussed before, the two types of light water reactors are boiling water reactors and pressurized water reactors. At the bottom is a picture of a boiling water reactor. Inside the containment building is the fuel assembly, containment vessel, control rods, recirculation pump, and pressure suppression pool. Water is pumped by the feed water pump into the containment vessel at about 1100 psi, where it is heated to above 550 degrees and turned to steam. Steam is then sent over to the steam turbine, where it spins the shaft inside the generator and creates electricity. The steam is then condensed inside the condenser back into water, and the process starts over again. As can be seen, boiling water reactors typically have control rods which enter from the bottom of the reactor to control the fission process, while with a pressurized water reactor the control rods generally enter from the top. Here's an example of a boiling water reactor, Browns Ferry in Alabama. All three units combined can produce 3,400 megawatts, which account for about 10% of TVA's generation capacity. Unit 1 was started in 1973, Unit 2 in 1974, and Unit 3 in 1976. As seen in the picture of the pressurized water reactor, the containment building holds a reactor, reactor coolant pump, steam generator, and pressurizer. This makes up the primary side. In reality, there are 4 loops, each with its own steam generator and reactor coolant pump, but only one pressurizer. The reactor coolant pump pumps reactor coolant at 90 to 100,000 gallons per minute through the reactor to the steam generator. The pressurizer pressurizes the reactor coolant to about 2250 psi, which keeps the reactor coolant from boiling. The hot leg runs from the reactor to the steam generator and is about 595 degrees Fahrenheit. The cold leg runs from the steam generator back to the reactor and is about 525 degrees Fahrenheit, having given off some of the heat to the secondary side. The steam generator contains thousands of tubes which take the incoming feed water on the secondary side and create steam. The steam turns the steam turbine, which rotates the shaft inside the generator and creates energy. The steam is then condensed and sent back to the steam generator. With the pressurized water reactor, the partially radiated water coming from the reactor does not get sent throughout the plant, making it safer than the boiling water reactor. Watts Bar Nuclear Plant is an example of a pressurized water reactor. Unit 1 came online in 1996, with Unit 2 scheduled for commercial operation in 2016. Each unit is capable of producing 1150 megawatts. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of the boil water reactor. Advantages include less expensive of the two types, lower temperature and pressure than the pressurized water reactor, and no additives required to control fission. All you need are the control rods. Disadvantages are slightly radioactive water being piped throughout the plant, which is the water being pumped from the reactor to the turbine and back, and large amounts of water must be recycled. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of the pressurized water reactor. Advantages include radiated primary water never leaves the containment building, since the primary loop is only run from the steam generator to the reactor and back. Small amounts of water must be recycled on the secondary side, since the water only runs from the steam generator to the turbine and back. Disadvantages are the primary water must be highly pressurized to keep it from boiling, and additives must be used to control the fission process other than the control rods, which is boron. In conclusion, boiling water reactors and pressurized water reactors each have their own advantages and disadvantages, which make them better suited for different areas. In either case, nuclear power accounts for 70% of America's carbon-free electricity and produces none of the air pollution that comes from burning fossil fuels. Here are the references. Thank you for your time.